This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699, our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out, so you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, they're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Lions!
It's the year of the can't.
Chiefs!
Arrowhead cases. Oh, wait, let me say that again. Arrowhead cases.
Ravens!
Had superstar Mike Morris signed with them, he'd have a Super Bowl ring.
Texans!
Everything is bigger in Texas, especially their margin of defeat.
Cowboys!
I'm Dak Prescott. Playing quarterback is all I do, and I don't do it well.
49ers!
Their quarterback looks like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Seahawks!
The Supersonics have a better chance of winning a title, and they no longer exist.
Titans!
If you spell out their name letter by letter on the Power Trip Morning Show, all 42 participants would pass out from laughing too hard.
I always love that one.
Bears!
The singular form of their name also describes their cupboard.
Broncos!
The only good one was Nagurski.
Bengals!
Burrow, which is what their quarterback will attempting to do underground when Grenard and Van Ginkel are coming at him.
Browns!
Flack 0-1, Flack 0-2.
Steelers!
The entire season will be a darkness retreat.
Saints!
Worst thing to hit New Orleans since Hurricane Katrina.
Patriots!
Repatriated.
Buccaneers!
That's an expensive price for corn.
Colts!
Dolts.
Falcons!
Arthur Blank.
They're all dead!
Every single one of them are dead. Let's go. Let's play. Where do we begin? First weekend of the 2025 NFL season with thrills, chills, and spills is underway. The Gophers, they aren't rowing their boat. They have a high-powered Mercury outboard motor. The Twins are the Twins. Lynx about to embark on the WNBA playoffs. Wolves and Wild about to begin their respective training camps. The U.S. Open Tennis has crowned champions, and the Annika Intercollegiate is underway at the Royal Club. Where do we start? I don't know. Let's spin the wheel of topics.
Wheel of Topics!
Commons, golf.
I didn't see that on the list.
What'd you shoot today?
77, Sunset Strip. 77, Sunset Strip.
Where'd we play?
Oak Marsh.
Where'd you hit it on? One?
Right up the gut.
Second shot?
Hit a perfect hybrid just slightly to the right side of the fairway. Right side of the fairway.
How far from the green were you?
I had a wedge in my hand.
Then what?
I kind of thinned it, but it checked up on the green to about 15 feet.
Then what?
Two putted for par.
Incredible.
Started par, then made a bogey on 3, and then I bogeyed 4 and 5, so I was starting to get away from me. Then I had a nice stretch. Parred 6, parred 7, bogeyed 8, parred 9, birdied 10. And so I was back to 3 over through 10, and then I made a par on 11. Then I bogeyed 12 and 13, parred 14, 15, 16, and 17. 5 over going to 18. You play Oak Marsh before?
I think I've played it once with you, so I don't remember it very well.
18 now is a split fairway. They have a very large fairway bunker splitting each side. I couldn't miss that bunker even if I tried. If I turned around and tried to hit the ball the opposite direction, I know that ball would find a way to get in the bunker. The wind would blow it that way. I don't know, but I ended up in that bunker. I was trying not to be in the bunker. And then I hit a poor bunker shot. I mean, I came up on it. I topped it. It went like 5 yards. I'm line 2. Get it out on the next one, but push it right to the green, knock it on, 2-putt for double. So, it's a par 70, so it was 7 over 77. And it's just, that left me with a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Again, it's fine. It's only golf, but hopefully the Vikings will fare better down the stretch than Common Man did. I received an interesting email yesterday, and I just saw it this morning after golf as I was preparing to come into the radio ranch. And it was from a long-time regular emailer who I think sometimes stops emailing me because he's a big Vikings fan. That I tend to be just like, I like to wet blanket everything on the air. I even wet blanket things on email. So when I wet blanket the purple, I think he gets annoyed.
Yeah.
But he said I printed the email but left it under the printer. But I guess I can give you basically this is what he said was I'm paraphrasing, but it said something to the effect of, well, we learned at least one thing from Sam Darnold yesterday. The Vikings made the right choice in letting him go. He was terrible. And then I thought to myself, so I emailed back, because I respond to every email sent to me. I emailed back, well, then if J.J. McCarthy is awful tonight, that means J.J. has proved the Vikings made a mistake by selecting him with the 10th pick overall last year. It's the same logic.
Well, it's also a little premature.
Well, that's right.
Sam Darnold front.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It would be premature on McCarthy. It's just preposterous. It's like, if one is true, then the other one has to be true as well.
If we want to go that route, I would say, after watching Daniel Jones play yesterday, the Vikings made a mistake letting him out of the building.
Yes, you're exactly right.
If that's the route we want to go.
Right, and we're not going to go that way because, again, and I don't know what that time frame is to determine if a player has the it or if he doesn't, if a team does, if a coach does, if whatever the case may be. I don't know what that time frame is because I don't necessarily think it's a time frame. It's sort of, you kind of just can feel it, right?
Does anybody even really know what time it is?
Well, and does anybody really care? Yeah. I do know it's time to take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Peek at the Purple. We'll take a deep dive, and I'm really excited and delighted. We are going to have a guest today, a non-football-related guest at 12:30. Annika Sorenstam, the legendary. She's probably the best female golfer that's ever stuck a tee in the ground. She's hosting the Annika Intercollegiate over at the Royal Club, so we're going to have Annika on for a couple of minutes at 12:30. And then plenty of football talk because it's a football life here on The Fan. We'll take a break, come back with more Common Man program here on The Fan.
Life's messy. We're talking spills, stains, pets, and kids. But with Anababe, you never have to stress about messes again. At WashableSofas.com, discover Anababe sofas, the only fully machine-washable sofas inside and out, starting at just $699. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. That means fewer stains and more peace of mind. Designed for real life, our sofas feature changeable fabric covers, allowing you to refresh your style anytime. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa effortlessly. Perfect for cozy apartments or spacious homes. Plus, they're earth-friendly and built to last. That's why over 200,000 happy customers have made the switch. Upgrade your space today. Visit WashableSofas.com now and bring home a sofa made for life. That's WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Join KFAN's Justin Guard tonight at Gray's Food Hall for a season kickoff watch party. Drop by starting at 7 p.m. to catch the Purples. They open up the season against Chicago. Plus, enjoy great food and your shot to win awesome prizes. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 to B. It's time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. End of the month. If you're planning to buy an EV, you need to do so by the end of the month or you lose that $7,500 tax credit. If you do decide to buy, they're hard to find. Saw a story in the Fish Wrap Factory West Side yesterday. Something I've been telling you for a couple of weeks now, that lots all across the Twin Cities metropolitan area are starting to empty of those EVs. But if you do get an EV, you'll want to install the 240-volt charger in your garage, and your friends at Affordable Electric can do that for you. They can handle all of your electrical needs. So whatever it might be, go ahead and reach out to them. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is, shockingly affordable. It's the exclamation mark on a very interesting opening week of the National Football League. Vikings at Soldier Field to take on the Bears. You'll hear it on your audio home for the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. KFAN, that's us. Coverage begins at 5. Be there for the boom at 7:15. The national treasure, Vox, Paul Allen, the voice of the Vikings, will have the play-by-play. Pete Bursich, Tennebee's back for another year, right, in the booth?
The whole crew is back.
The whole crew is back. That would include Ben Lieber, who is a sideline reporter. I think Jared Wells, he does the engineering. Is that correct?
Correct.
I've never asked him if he likes traveling and doing that. Hockey, I think, loves it, right? Hawk
does all the road games, yeah.
Hockey loves traveling. It's the greatest. Think about it. If Chris Hockey wasn't here at the radio station, Abbott would have to do those. And how much do you think Abbott dreads going on? He loves the Vikings. He loves football. He's faith, family, fin, feather, and furs, then football. And so he doesn't want to getting on that bus. Think about this. You can't even just drive to the airport to where the charter is. You have to take the bus. You have to get on the team bus. You have to park at TCO. Then you got to get on the bus. And it's one of those big, huge charter buses, and they kind of bounce like that. And your head's up against a window, banging against it. And then you can just hear the grit saying, then you have to stop at every light because you never make the light right. And then you hear that big clunking of that turn signal. Clunk, 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 clunk. The worst is coming home. Because he flies right over his house. It still has to go to the airport, get in, then drive all the way
Especially
to TCO.
The night game.
Yeah, the night game. Oh, think about that game. What time will that game get over to? 10:15?
10:30, yeah.
So then you got to wait, post-game this, blah, 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 blah. Get on. By the time they get back to the airport, it'll be midnight. Minimum. So let's just say midnight.
At least it's not too bad of a flight tonight. But
it's not that bad.
It could be.
I mean, it's only 6,000 miles between Minneapolis and Chicago. And then it's back on that. And then you get back there. And so Chris Hockey apparently enjoys it. He loves being the game day producer. So good for him. We're going to find out. We'll at least we won't find out tonight. Going back to the opening segment when I got the email that said, well, at least we know one thing about the Vikings. They made the right decision letting Sam Darnold go. We won't know a whole heck of a lot, I think, about J.J. McCarthy's future in the National Football League after tonight. If he's brilliant, I guess you could come to the conclusion, if you wanted, that he's destined to be a Hall of Famer, right? Gold jacket, whole thing. And we'll have multiple big game victories here. Or if he's brutal, we made a mistake, we better go find somebody else. But it'll still be nice to see him actually play a game that's meaningful. He's said all the right things. The team has said all the right things. They have surrounded him with, I'm not ready to say it's the best offense ever assembled, but with the additions to the offensive line, the players they added in the middle are quality players or have been quality players. I think at least one or two of them. I know on the defensive end, they had 2 defensive players. They've also added 2 in the interior, and they're coming off major injuries last year where they missed much of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So again, how much do the offensive line guys have left? How quickly have they recovered from their injuries? How well do they blend? Same with the defensive guys. But they've refurbished both lines, and on paper they look good. They've got a lot of weapons offensively. I mean, we know with Addison missing, Thielen's kind of a wild card. I mean, I think we know what kind of receiver Thielen is. It's just, does he blend in seamlessly and return to those thrilling days of yesteryear? Naylor coming off he had a broken finger, broken hand. He had a broken bone in his hand. He's ready to play. And of course, we know JJ. JJ hasn't seen a lot of action. He had that hammy again, I think it was, but he was a full participant. He's ready to go. I don't think he's listed on the injury report. And then Hawkinson has said he's never felt better. He is 100% ready to go. And, we're missing Addison, and that'll be for 3 weeks. So, and we have 2 running backs. We have one that's proven with us. Aaron Jones is shown to be a quality running back. And the kid from San Francisco, I think, could end up being a nice addition. So it's all there. And you got the quarterback whisperer and one of the more highly regarded play callers in the business. So you have all of that going for you, which is nice. But then again, when the bright lights do come on, they keep making a big deal about it. McCarthy's going to the stadium where he first saw an NFL game when he's 4 years old. He says it's a business trip. He's got all the cliches down already. It's nothing more than that. And so he seems to be calm, cool, and collected. And that's what you need to play quarterback in this league. You got to be calm, cool, and collected. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I am. I mean, I know I've been wet blanketing the whole McCarthy thing. It's just because I like to protect people from the fall. Aggravated Vikings anticipatory traumatic abandonment reaction syndrome, which it can be devastating. It usually starts to flare up, generally speaking, in the Vikings season, early to middle of the season. Sometimes it's very late. Like last year, we didn't have a full-blown Avatar epidemic until, what was it, Kitty's game, and then the Rams game is when it hit hard. We don't know if there's any cure for Avatar. We think it would be if we won a big game, but we don't know because we've never won one. We like parades. We all do. We'll see what happens. On the other side of the field, there's hope there. They're selling hope as well. Ben Johnson, one of the most highly regarded offensive coordinators of recent memory, is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. They did the same thing with their offensive line. Their quarterback was Caleb Williams, number 1 pick overall a couple of years ago, was running around like a chicken with his head cut off back there. He oftentimes held the ball too long. He took sacks. He threw interceptions. He was jittery a lot, and they didn't have a lot to work with there. They went and got a bunch of offensive linemen. They have some decent weapons on offense, right, Teneby? I mean, at least on paper. Again, they have some players.
Projected to be, yeah. I mean, you got some young talent there, right. So.
And so, of course, the Packers have young talent that was projected to be good, and they're very good. I watched the entire game yesterday, and that's a pretty good football team. I mean, if you're a Vikings fan, I think a lot of Vikings fans go, here we go again. The Packers look like, I mean, that was, I don't want to call it an astonishing performance, but it was a really good performance. So we'll see if the Bears have been able to, if Ben Johnson can bring us a different attitude to Chicago, if they can fix that offensive line, and if he puts in enough wrinkles, because when he was with Detroit, he was a brilliant play caller. I mean, he was always had something up his sleeve. He seemed like he was always at least a half step, if not a full step ahead of the defensive coordinators. We'll see what that's like tonight. Their defense is pretty good.
Judging by the Lions' performance yesterday, Ben Johnson's a genius.
Well, yeah, let's more on that. I'm not necessarily to say that.
I know, I'm just playing along with that.
No, I know. I think it certainly has something to do with it. That Lions offensive line. Is Bradbury playing for Detroit at center now? And then who are their guards? The same guys we had last year? Because when you don't have an offensive line and you're playing against a good defense like Green Bay, you're in for a long day. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. They're shockingly affordable.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at washablesofas.com. Starting at just $699, our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out, so you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics, they're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit washablesofas.com today and save. That's washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
a chance to win a Vikings away game trip for 4? This could be your year. Visit the Minnesota Lottery booth at the Vikings kickoff concert on Sunday, September 14th before Russell Dickerson takes the stage to enter. Minnesota Lottery must be 18 or older to play.
Level 13-14 pastime common. That's 10 of B. I'm also the official, unofficial ambassador for Minnesota Golf, and so I am excited and delighted to welcome to the program Annika Sorenstam. Annika, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hello. How's it going?
It's going very well. You know, before stepping away from competitive golf at the end of the 2008 season, you won 96 international professional tournaments. That makes you the female golfer with the most wins to your name. You've won 72 official LPGA tournaments, including 10 majors, 24 other tournaments internationally, the Grand Slam of Golf. And back in 2003, you competed in the Bank of America Colonial Tournament. You became the first woman to play in a PGA Tour event since 1945. I'm sure I'm missing some other accolades, but that's a mouthful right there. You know how to put the ball in the hole.
Well, thank you for that introduction. I'll take it. Yeah, it's. I look back at my career, and I'm very proud.
Yeah, you know, somebody sent me an email or a text message, because we text messaging now more than email, and it said this. It says, could you ask Annika about her memory of ending the 2007 U.S. Open at Interlock? And I was in the crowd, and it was one of the coolest moments in sports I've ever witnessed. I was 12 or 13 years old, and I don't think I'll ever forget it. It was so cool. Can you walk us through what happened on your final shot?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you mention it, because I was just there at Interlock this morning, and we were talking about that. We had like a little breakfast session, and we were looking over the 18th hole, and this was my last year full-time player in 2008, and it was the U.S. Open, and the final day, the final hole, so the 72nd hole, and it's a par 5, the 18th hole, a little dogleg to the right, and I missed my drive to the right, so all I had to do, I really didn't have a lot of choice. I had to, just kind of chip it out in the fairway, and I ended up having 199 yards left for my third, and luckily it was a par 5, and I grabbed the 6-iron, and I hit a good shot. It was going towards the hole, towards the green, but I couldn't really see everything, and then eventually I could hear the crowd get a little more wound up, and then eventually the ball went in the hole, and everybody stood up and cheered, and that's kind of, finish for my USGA career with an eagle on the last final hole of my USGA career.
Yeah, and a legendary golf course too, and that's the same hole where Bobby Jones had his lily pad shot. So pretty cool place. You said you're at Interlock, and they're getting the Women's U.S. Open. They've done a complete renovation of the golf course. I had an opportunity to play it a couple of times in the last few weeks, and I'm wondering if you have the same feeling I do. I remember the routing, but I don't recognize the course. The renovation is absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, I would echo that. I haven't played it since the renovation, but like I said, I was there this morning. It was a beautiful morning. I mean, the way that the sun was rising and was just kind of lit up the fairways, lit up the greens. It really looked like it was championship ready. It looked so inviting. It just, made my hands itch. I want to go out there and play. But I was looking down the course from the clubhouse, and you're right. I mean, I think they removed a ton of trees, but it looked so inviting, so challenging, but so fun at the same time.
How much golf do you play now? Do you play recreationally? Do you play for fun?
No, I play quite a bit. Okay. I played 4 tournaments this year. Okay. You wouldn't know. The results are not coming with my practice, okay, unfortunately. But I feel like I put in the time in the gym and on the course and practice. But I do. I try to maintain a little bit what I have, and obviously lost some distance off the tee, and not as sharp. My short game is not as sharp, but I get out there quite a bit.
I know you and your husband are involved in a lot of different things, so you're very busy as well. One thing you are doing, and I want to ask, the Annika, part of the reason we're having you on is the Annika Intercollegiate is taking place right now at the Royal Golf Club out in Lake Elmo. You designed 9 of the holes. Arnold Palmer's design group did the other 9. I think if I'm not mistaken, that is your only golf course architecture of a course here in the United States. Is that correct?
That is correct. I've been lucky to do a few courses around the world, Asia and South Africa. But you're right. I was able to do the front nine here at the Royal Golf Club. They call it the Queen and the King and the Queen. So, yeah, we're hosting our intercollegiate event here presented by 3M. We've done that for quite a few years now, and it's Division I. Female golfers are here competing. Today's the first day. Obviously, it's very exciting. We have 3 days of golf, and there's a lot on stake for these young women.
The University of Minnesota is hosting, but I've been told that this is year in and year out. You attract the deepest field in intercollegiate golf on the women's side. There's 6, 7, 8 of the top 15 teams playing here over today, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
Yes, that is correct. We're very proud of this field. We're obviously very proud to come here to Minnesota and be able to host this tournament. And, it's one of the first tournaments of the year for the women. And, it's been a lot of interest to play here. And, we feel very fortunate. We do a lot of fun stuff. Yesterday we have a college AM. Tonight we have a nice tournament dinner that 3M is hosting. So we try to make this a very special event for the players.
Another thing is, I think, it's harder to get attendance when you're doing, your weekday tournament, but it's open to the public, right? I mean, if people want to come and watch, and
absolutely. Yeah, it's free. Just come over and watch. I mean, these are, the next professional stars on the LPGA or any other tour out there. So you got juniors, you got seniors and sophomores and whatever. You have them all here. Some top schools like right now, I believe Northwestern is leading, but you have Southern California here, Wake Forest, Duke, Texas, Pepperdine, Oregon, and South Carolina, just to mention a few. And you said as Minnesota also is being the host.
Yeah, and it's free. And what if you go to a PGA tournament, even LPGA, sometimes it's a little harder to get real close because galleries are deep. They run 10, 12 people deep. Here, if you go out there right now, you could walk alongside a group and you could follow them for an entire 18 holes and almost be able to reach out and touch them.
Oh, yeah, pretty close. And like I said, these are the next superstars. So, yeah, and I mean, as you know, the weather is beautiful out, beautiful fall day here in Minneapolis area, and there are no ropes or nothing, so there's a lot of access, and should come and cheer for your team or, just be out here on a beautiful day.
Last question I have for you, back to the architecture stuff. Are you working a lot in that, or is that just sort of part-time, or is that something that you're starting to get more and more involved in?
I would say it's very limited. But it's funny you mentioned it. I'm heading to Estonia actually in about 10 days. It's a project that's been kind of sleeping for a few years, but it's got some life in it now. So I'm heading over there. But yeah, I have a few projects in the work, but it's a slow business at the moment. But I've enjoyed the few ones I've done, and certainly enjoy sharing my passion and my thoughts and kind of my view on design and how we can build courses around the world for not just for women, of course, but for golfers to have a good time but still challenging and memorable.
Well, here's what I'll tell you, just between me and you. I kind of like the front side better than the back side at the Royal, but don't tell Hollis, okay?
Thank you. No, it's funny. I was just very fortunate to work with Mr. Palmer. I remember I have such a clear memory of sitting in the golf cart with him, trying to pick his brain of, with all the history, all the stories and the experience he had, and said, hey, what do you think about the future of the game? And we talked that, and then obviously he put his last stamp on the back nine here. So, yeah, it's quite the privilege.
Annika, Intercollegiate through Wednesday, open to the public. Hope we get a lot of people out there, and thanks for sharing your time with us. I know you're busy, and we'll talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Take care.
You bet. Annika Sorenstam. Just a delight. I've had an opportunity to talk to her in person, too. She's think about that, Tenby. Her last U.S. Open, her last USGA event, she holes out for eagle from 199 at Interlaken with a 6-iron. I have to hit a hybrid as well as I can to get 200 yards. But yeah, she is good. I mean, she's 72 official LPGA tournaments and 10 majors. Pretty impressive. Where were we on the Vikings? Oh, so, we were talking a little bit about, I tweeted this out last night. I think most people are aware of, I was born in Detroit. I'm a Lions fan. It's nice to know that your team's not any good right away, right? Because then you don't have to worry about it all season long, right? You know, hey, okay, we had a nice couple of years. You know me, Tenneby. Here's what I'm afraid of, though. I like either biblically bad or historically good. For years, the Lions were biblically bad.
Yeah.
Last couple of years, maybe not historically good, but for that franchise, it was historically good. Now I think they might be in that gray area. I mean, I think they're going to win some games this year. I don't think they're going to go 0-17. I think they're going to be a game or two either side of 500. Tough schedule. I mean, let's face it, they'll probably lose to Green Bay again. They'll sweep Chicago and Minnesota. I just wanted to say that. But at least we know. And
you know already, huh?
well, yeah, I mean, well, no, you know, again, it's that my fear, that Green Bay team looks pretty good, Tenneby. But here's what I'll tell you. Here's the thing that there's an old saying I just made up. Some people already have come to a conclusion about something. They already have the conclusion before they watch what happens, right?
Sure.
I wish I would have said that better. Like, for instance, the conclusion everybody came to is that Micah Parsons is going to take this Green Bay defense to another level. And so yesterday, he was okay. He had one sack. It was late. He just ran down.
Yeah, I don't know what Goff was thinking that he could hold on to the ball that long.
Yeah, in Goff he runs like a newborn baby giraffe, right? He doesn't have much going for him. And Parsons put some pressure on Goff that led to an interception, right? Which generally happens on any interception, right? Most of the time, unless the guy just makes a bad throw or the guy in coverage makes a brilliant play, it's usually you either have a coverage interception or you have, you know, a pass pressure interception. But the narrative was Micah Parsons is the greatest player. I mean, they were making the comparisons to Reggie White.
Sure.
I mean, they were basically making him seem like, folks, we are witnessing the birth of the greatest defensive player in the history of the game, right? And he very well might end up being the best defensive player of all time. But they gave him so much credit for the interception. I don't know why they just don't give him the interception in the statistics. The poor guy that made it, do we even know his name? He got no credit at all. They mentioned his name and by the way, it was a great interception. He made a diving catch of it. It was spectacular. After mentioning who picked it off, they never brought him up again. It was all Micah Parsons this, Micah Parsons that, Micah Parsons this, Micah Parsons that. And it was great pressure, but they're most
11 players on the field.
Yeah, well, and the guy that made the interception wasn't getting any credit for making the interception. And it was a great interception. But he played limited time yesterday. Their defense looks good. Their offense. You know, the Love kid, I think I've been higher on him than a lot of people. I think he's pretty good, but there's still some. I mean, there was a couple of moments there where that game, it looked like the Lions had made a defensive play to change the direction of that game. Branch makes the interception. He returns it for a touchdown, but the penalty calls it back. Now, penalty's a penalty. If there's not, that wasn't a good throw by Love, and he made another really bad throw too. But all quarterbacks do. But they put the hammer down, and that's an awful good football team. What did you watch? That
was actually the only basically football all weekend I didn't see.
Oh, okay.
We had a youth hockey game to go to, right. But yeah, I saw the Thursday night game. I saw the Chiefs Chargers Friday night. Watched noon. I don't have NFL the package,
right? But
watched a good chunk of the Giants Commanders game, and then saw a good chunk of Buffalo Baltimore. But yeah, the hockey was basically during that 3:00 game. So I did see the Micah Parsons sack. I was home for that.
Right.
Yeah, but by then, the game was in doubt by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know the score and I don't know how.
Well, take my word for it. They're really good. I mean, again, Detroit they're a little soft in the middle of the interior line. Sound familiar? Vikings went through that. But that was more than that. That's a good team and I hate saying it. You think I like it?
Yeah.
Think I don't? Think I can't? Think I shouldn't? Think I won't? But they're pretty good offensively. They're good. They seem to be well coached. Now, I think they'll get a stiffer challenge Thursday. The Commanders that's another team
they look good.
They look good. And the Jaden Daniels guy, I mean, if we were thinking beginner's luck, I don't think so. He even made a pass yesterday. I was watching that game too, and I don't remember the exact circumstance, but it was incomplete. He missed a guy or something, or something happened. And he's just smiling and laughing. He seemed to be just, we talked about being calm, cool, and collected. He didn't seem to be rattled by it at all. Maybe it's because he felt we got the game in the bag anyways. We're not going to lose this football game. But he just seems to play like a guy that's been around a little bit longer than he has. And
he is spectacular. And I said it last year, and I'll even say it again this year. He was doing that last year with not much to work with.
Yes.
Right? Like, their starting running back right now is Austin Eckler, who his last good performance was like 3 years ago.
Right.
Terry McLaurin is
scary. Terry,
he's a fine receiver,
right?
I don't know if he's an elite number one, and he's coming off the contract holdout, so I don't know where he's at right now. After that, I mean, I know they got Deebo Samuel on a trade this year, and he's but
I like him a lot.
Zach Ertz is my age,
yeah.
So he doesn't have superstar power. He's elevating everybody, and their defense looked pretty good against. I mean, the Giants couldn't function offensively for the vast majority of that game.
I like Deebo Samuel so much, and I'm not saying he's the best player in pro football and that he should be getting a gold jacket or anything, but I just like I like his he plays really hard all the time, and he does so many different things. He's kind of that odd kind of a player,
Swiss
right?
Army.
Yeah, he's Swiss Army knife thing. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to say it.
He could probably be their best running back on that roster.
Yes, exactly. And so they looked...
problem is he gets hurt all the time.
They look really good. Here's a text message that says, Lions didn't even try. It was a very annoying game to watch. Wish they didn't try when they played the Vikings. Well, they were trying. Trust me, they were trying.
They mailed it in already?
Well, and here's what else is in it. If you look at time of possession alone, look up the time of possession. Well, you thought the Lions would have won the game. That time of possession number would make you think the Lions dominated. They were able to move the ball fairly consistently after first series or two. Maybe it's just after the first series. They allowed Green Bay to march down the field, 83 yards, 15-play drive, culminated with a tutty. It was 7-0 right away. Then the Lions went 3 and out. And the Lions were able to control possession, but they couldn't seal the deal. They didn't have the explosives like they had last year. And I think
time of possession was 35-25 to 24-35
in favor of Detroit. Now, how does Green Bay win that game? Because usually time of possession is a
Lions had more first downs.
Yes. Green Bay was just able to score quickly because last year, the Lions had. Now, these aren't excuses, Tenneby. These are reasons. We know they had the decimated Detroit defense. They weren't decimated yesterday. Hutchinson's overrated, or else Green Bay's just really good. Or they were trying to make Romo and Nance were trying to make excuses for Hutchinson. Well, it's going to take a while for him to get back to in playing shape. Well, dude's had training camp. He's had, those, what do they call them when they have those team practices against each other?
Joint practices.
Joint practices. I mean, if he's that good, he shouldn't need. Come on. So, yeah, it wasn't that they weren't trying. But anyway, they weren't able to. They didn't have explosive plays. They were doing the nickel, and their running game was non-existent. Sonic and Knuckles were not.
Yeah, that's the odd part.
They were not Sonic and Knuckles at all yesterday. I think Gibbs
goes back to that offensive line.
That's it. Gibbs had one 14-yard carry after that. I think he didn't get more than a yard or two on every time he carried the ball. Monty wasn't.
Was it him who had the 10 catches for only 31 yards?
It could have been. It could very well have been.
I don't know if I've ever seen that many catches with so few yards.
The only highlight was, is it Tesla? Is that his name? Did you see that?
Yeah, the
catch?
rookie. I did not see it, no.
Oh, Tenneby, look it up. I mean, it's, again, I'm not saying it's the greatest catch of all time, but it was one of those Odell one-handed falling back. Matter of fact, at first they ruled it no tutty. They said no, he didn't. There's no way he got both his feet in there, and he did. I think I noticed that they'd showed all these streaks that the Lions had on the line, and all really good streaks are all going to come to an end. And one of them was touchdowns and 49 offensive touchdowns in 49 straight games, and they scored that one with, I don't know, under a minute to go in the game. And it was a 4th down throw to Slaw. If he doesn't catch it, the game's over. So they were able to break that. But
what'd you think of the Jamison Williams contract extension? Not a lot of money for him?
I think it's way too much money
for
him. Way too much. I mean, and then, they are going to run into salary cap hell. Because they're already paying Goff a boatload. Sewell just signed, didn't he? Did they sign Hutch yet? If they haven't, they got to. I think they already signed. I mean, that's a big amount of money. Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Jameson, Laporta's going to want money. They got several defensive players that are very good that are going to want money. Yeah, they're done. That's okay. But it's better to know when your team is done.
What a catch!
Yeah, that's
Holy
something.
Cow!
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, how he got his feet in.
I don't know how he did. They were so good. And he's from Detroit or from Michigan. He's a local kid. Local kid makes good. So, yeah. So the focus in the best part is I sent out a video on Twitter last night. Deuce went out and bought new helmets for all the 32 teams, those little miniature helmets. And we set them up by the TV, and every time a team loses, we take the winning helmet and knock the losing helmet off onto the floor. So you can see that. And Commonminster to watch the Lions helmet topple to the floor as the Packers win. So tonight's going to be somebody's has got to go. Well, wait, because one's going to be 0-1 and one's going to be 1-0. And then we see what happens from there. And remember this, Tenby, for all the teams that lost the opening weekend, they lose week number 2, they're basically done. Because only 12% of teams that lose the first 2 weeks of the season, only 12% of those teams make the playoffs. Very scary.
All I know is they're already in the top 17 for records in the National Football League right now. I mean, there's 15 teams that have a worse record than the Vikings.
That's exactly right. We'll take a break. We'll come back when we do 5, 3, 4, 10 up. What you got?
Yeah, there was dismantling and destruction in Dinkytown this weekend.
Got you.
Life's messy. We're talking spills, stains, pets, and kids. But with Anabae, you never have to stress about messes again. At WashableSofas.com, discover Anabae sofas, the only fully machine-washable sofas inside and out, starting at just $699. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. That means fewer stains and more peace of mind. Designed for real life, our sofas feature changeable fabric covers, allowing you to refresh your style anytime. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa effortlessly. Perfect for cozy apartments or spacious homes. Plus, they're earth-friendly and built to last. That's why over 200,000 happy customers have made the switch. Upgrade your space today. Visit WashableSofas.com now and bring home a sofa made for life. That's WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.